Welcome to the 12 Days of Zentangle and Project Pack 22. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria.
And I'm Molly.
And we are going to explain some of the background of this, the contents, and get you set up, and then some of the inspiration that was behind the whole thing.
Yes, it's very exciting.
Yes.
And this is our 22nd project pack, which seems absolutely crazy. And we are thrilled to have you all with us. This is one of our favorite, I guess, kind of traditions here at Zentangle is to take you through a series of lessons in December and for 12 consecutive days. This is a very special project pack. Rick, are you gonna start to unveil what we have here today? So before we get into too many details, let's talk about the supplies. Rick's kind of looking at our tools here today, and we like to
unveiling.
I know we like to work with a palette, which is a really nice way to put some elegance of limits around our creations and kind of give us something to work with. So our palette here is these beautiful browns and yellows and kind of like warm tones with like this surprising sort of teal that's going to peek in here and there. And so we've got two new jelly rolls. These are actually from a new line of jelly rolls. They are from the pastel line of jelly rolls, which is really fun. And we do have the full collection on our website, so encourage you to check those out. And then we have some cool pastel pencils here. These really cool earthy tones, almost like straight from like the desert or something, like just awesome. And then we'll be working with some black ink, some brown ink, and then of course all the tortillones, and then our trusty graphite as well.
And your tortillones come not pre-used. So.
These are some.
We've sort of used.
Yeah, this is a project pack that we have actually already used. So that's good, though, right? You know,
yeah. You'll know what it's supposed to look like after everything's done.
And what's even more exciting about this project pack is that we have a series of new tiles from the Zentangle tile collection. So we have an updated version of our phi tiles. So Rick's showing you sort of a revised back artwork here, which is very similar but a little bit different because the beautiful logo goes straight to the edge, which also kind of works as a really cool string line. And then we have and they are printed mirror image on different ones. So you can play around with the spiral going in different directions, which is really awesome. And we'll get to the pre-strung designs in a minute after we talk about the other tiles here, which is like really exciting, Rick. These are our new, drumroll, 5x5 tiles. These are a 5-inch by 5-inch tile, which happens to be the same length of a phi tile. So they really work nicely together. The back art works as a pre-strung design. And in this case, being this project pack, we have a whole series of very cool pre-strung designs on the other side. So these tiles are full.
Which is all about spirals.
It is
all about spirals.
We're really dialing into the spirals and
spiralicious.
It's spiralicious. And you know, one of the first tiles that we teach, and we'll get into a whole bunch of other examples later, but you'll see this is an example of our first tile that we often teach, and we almost always include printemps, which is a spiral.
It's one of the most probably used tangles. And it was funny because about a year ago, we were meeting with Bijou, as we often do, and he actually came to us and said, I've had this unbelievable dream, and I feel like we need to do an entire project pack that honors printemps, honors the spiral,
Bijou,
honors the spiral as a tangle, and honors the spiral as a string, as a reticula, as a fragment. It honors all of that, and so we went to work. We went to work doing lots of studying.
Also inspired by or honors his relatives.
Yes.
So a lot of this, right?
Yeah,
it was very meaningful to him.
That is very cool. He got these very, very old family albums that he tore up. able to share with this. So we often talk about like elemental strokes in Zentangle. We talk about sort of these primal mark makings that we do. And a lot of it is based around these curves and spiraling lines. And so we really did a lot of fun sort of research on spirals and ancient math and all kinds of really cool stuff, nature. And we came up with a series of lessons and a series of templates that we're going to be playing with that not only honor the spiral, but really dig into it in a Zentangle way, I would say. So this is going to be a fun one. It's a full one, Rick.
Right. We're going to try to get it so that we empty these pens if at all possible.
I think we might have. I actually really think we might have.
Yeah.
We actually might. And so you're going to see a lot of tangling and a lot of time, and we really packed these 12 days, and we packed them in such a way that we also don't want you to think that you have to unwrap everything and get everything done as we do it. Think of this as our present to you to really, really enjoy and take your time and take the inspiration from what you see and then take it where you're going to take it on your own schedule.
I agree with you, Rick, because if you look at these tiles, they're big. And there are a lot of lessons where we cover a whole tile in one day. It doesn't mean that you have to cover the whole tile in one day. So I want you guys to take your time on this and really enjoy it. And there is a blog that's going to be available to all of you prior to this project pack being released. And it will explain a little bit more about you taking your own pace on this, which reminds me, Rick, when we looked up what spirals mean.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Molly did a whole bunch of research on this, and it's so, so cool. Let me put this so you can enjoy this. We see spirals everywhere.
Flip it over, Molly.
Look at this. Even a spiral straw. Okay, so one of the big things we're into is etymology, which is like the origin of words or where words come from. So the obvious research would be, well, what's the origin of spiral? So here we go. The word spiral springs, no pun intended, from ancient roots inextricably bound up with ideas of creation, life-giving, and aspiration. From the Latin spiralis or spira, and the Greek spira, meaning a spire or a coil or a conical, like conical, right? Or pyramidal structure, as well as from the Latin spirare, meaning to breathe, as in inhale and exhale. Tellingly, or expire and inspire.
Right.
Tellingly, our word spirit, representing the animating, non-material, divine element in humans, which gives life and reason, is drawn from, no pun intended, the same semantic origins. Spirit, of course, is the vital, fundamental principle of existence, as well as those personal qualities such as courage, pride, vivacity of mind. And when you read the word spiritual, have you noticed you see you can't say spiritual without saying spiral. So there's that. And we like to, inform all of the things that we're doing with these symbols and the background. And just so you appreciate this tremendous well of resources and traditions that go throughout all of history. And we found this book. You got to check this out. So, this is Curves from the Wooden Book series.
Very cool.
Beautiful book.
And
now this was 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago, yeah. So I'm like, I want to look in this book and see what I find. So under Spiral Mania, there was this, this is really cool. These are nice, and yeah. But then got up to this image up here, and on the top left, that is like totally Huggins.
It's totally Huggins.
And it says, above left, Egyptian spirals, 2000 BC, with lotus motifs in a variety of compositions. So it's like, wait a minute, what's old is new again, or vice versa. And this is so this is Huggins, this is like puppy hugs, this are all of these different motifs. And it's like, maybe that's why Zentangle is so resonant with people that do it, because it is, resonating from this amazing tradition throughout, millennia.
All time,
Yeah, so many cultures.
2,000 years ago.
Right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, 2000 BC, so that's 4,000
4,000
years.
years ago, yeah.
And anyways, so you guys get it. And this is just
This book is really precious.
wonderful, wonderful. And Molly, you have a bunch of other things,
We do.
right?
We had a bunch of other books and that we used to do our research when we were studying what kind of pre-strung designs we would do, what we would use in our lessons. And if any of this resonates with you, I encourage you to go to your local library and check out some of these really cool things. We've always had a fondness for the phi and golden ratios and all that kind of fun stuff. And so to be able to take it into our Zentangle world has been just so beautiful. And as we were saying earlier about spirals that symbolize things, I think it is important to look at this project pack as your own and make it your journey and create at your own pace, create in a way that feels good to you. And that was really cool for me to understand that I had to do that with my work. And then when I was looking up symbolism about spirals, I thought it was really interesting that in Native American cultures, the spiral is a symbol of the life's journey. And so I encourage all of you to embrace your Zentangle life's journey and take this project pack at your own pace and play around with it however it works for you. You don't have to get it all done in one day, that's for sure.
And that whole concept of spiral as a life journey is like, okay, I went down to the hardware store and said, let me go buy some spirals.
Any excuse to go to the hardware
Right?
store. Yeah.
So here's a spiral. And I like the idea of what Molly just said, because if you imagine, if you look at it this way and you go around and around and around, well, you're sort of coming to the same spot on this side over and over again. And if you were to look at it like this, you might think that, I'm just going around and around in this loop, and I keep coming back to the same place over and over again. But if you look at it like this, you realize, I'm going along
3 dimensions.
in 3 dimensions. And even though it's like you come back to the same, December or November, it's not the same December as it was last year. So that whole concept of spiral as life journey is really cool.
Yeah, it's
So we're getting really into the weeds here. Let's bring it back to, some of the, history or manifestations of spirals in Zentangle art. And we just went around the house and grabbed some tiles.
So I think it's important to know that spirals have been part of Zentangle since the beginning, like Rick said. So here you can see this beautiful tile with printemps. And then over time, that spiral doesn't stay as a beginner tangle. It doesn't stay as something that you just work on in the beginning. It continues to be something that shows up in people's work over and over again because it is such a comfortable stroke. It is such
strong.
So
it is
beautiful.
So strong.
Yeah. So, just with a quick walk around the studio, and I found that we create spiraling work over and over again. And Martha, when I go and teach with Martha, I feel like every time we do a workshop, I'm like, let's just throw a spiral in there. It's there's so many ways to reinvent it and play with it. And so we thought there is so much more room to grow with this, that this project pack plays with it in a really outside the box way. And that's what we like to do with these themes. We like to play around with technique. We like to play around with tools. We like to play around with philosophies, and then tie it all together and see what you all can do with it and where you can take it. And so many opportunities here, and we're looking forward to sharing all of this with you. We have these beautiful new tools to work with, but as usual, if you don't have a project pack, find what you have and reinvent yourself. And I think this is going to be spectacular.
Tangle along with us and figure it out, and you're going to have an amazing time.
I just wanted to mention that on one of the last big project packs, there was one tangler who didn't have the project pack, and she did it all on one big opus tile, all together on one tile, and it was spectacular. So don't think you have to have 12 different tiles. It could be all on one piece of paper.
But you might want them because they're really cool.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They are really cool. And like I said, it's going to work out no matter what. So we're excited. I think we're ready.
And let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
See you in a bit.
I hope you're inspiraled.
See you. Exactly. We're gonna work that.
Yeah, we are.
Bye,
Okay.
Bijou.
Much love, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.